Hello everyone, welcome back. As you all know by now, once you click on the video you see me sitting down. You already know we're about to dive into some knowledge, some lessons, some good conversation, you feel me? Lately I have been having it on my heart to share with you guys and talk about faith and manifestation and how it all kind of works. Social media is such a big part of everybody's lives these days. As soon as you get on your phone, you're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and I've noticed that it is very popular now to be more spiritual and more in tune with yourself and the daily routines, like a bunch of spirituality, manifestation is like a big thing. I've been watching YouTube like a minute, and I'm pretty sure y'all have as well. I used to watch YouTube couples, or I would log on to look up a tutorial on how to do a hairstyle or makeup. Like, it wasn't like it was today, in my opinion, a while back. I've been doing YouTube for about over a year now, and my channel's still very small. I started out with telling my story about me being adopted. The OGs know. I would just do like random videos, whatever I could come up with. I enjoyed doing YouTube. The main purpose was to inspire people, help people in any type of way, to make them not feel alone, to share my struggles and my journey and my story so we can like kind of grow together. But I struggled with how. I was like, how can I, for one, unlock that in myself, within myself, because that's very important. Sometimes we get lost in trying to prove certain things to other people of the world, and we haven't really started truly doing it within ourselves. I couldn't find like how, like how can I show people and what ways can I make videos to really potentially make a difference. Also, I was going through just a really hard spot in my life back in December around my birthday. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go stay with my sister for about a month, get away. While I was down there, I had a lot of time to think and try to learn more about myself while I was alone and like away from family and friends. But I still felt empty when I came back home. I still felt empty. I'm just trying to share with y'all how I got into more of my spiritual side and tapping into that, besides just your typical going to church, like the structured side of like religion and spirituality. So I got home and I'm feeling so lonely, and I'm like, why do I still feel this way? Like, what do I have to do to make a change within my life so I can stop being depressed? Well, I remember getting on YouTube, and I say this all the time, things happen for a reason. I don't believe in coincidences. Like I said, I had always been on YouTube watching videos, but I never watched the manifestation ones or the how I changed my life or the spiritual videos. I just kind of felt like they was like corny, or like people wasn't being for real. So I was on YouTube one day and I just happened to see a video pop up, and it said something like how I manifested or how to manifest or something like that. I never click on these videos, but I was like, you know what, let me just watch it. It was this content creator, I'm gonna put her channel right here because she was like a pivotal part in me starting my journey. Leah Atkins, I believe that's her name. I started watching her videos, like she's a regular human being, flaws and all, but she just was sharing her journey on how she changed her life by just manifesting and starting to speak things into existence and putting in the work and putting in the effort, the behind the scenes, how habits can also lead a part into creating the life that you want. That's when it clicked for me, and that's when I said, okay, Leah, I cannot continue to get up every day and just sleep in, roll over, get on my phone, get on social media, get up and drag and be miserable and be sad and be depressed, living in the past. I'm like, I cannot continue to do this. As much as I used to think the whole spiritual thing or the whole manifesting was like corny and stuff, I'm like, regardless of people's true intentions behind a camera, there's no way for you to like ever completely know that. Sometimes you just don't know if people are faking or not. Regardless, how will it hurt me? How will me getting up earlier and getting out of my bed and praying and setting a tone in my day and forming new habits, how it won't hurt me? If anything, it'll only help, it'll only improve myself. So that's what I started to do. I grew up strongly in church, singing, praise dancing, and like I've always had a relationship with God. But I can say that within these past couple years, like in my adulthood, like me being on my own and by myself a lot, that's when I've truly started to form like a true relationship. and also tuning in more with myself and finding that strength within myself, because God created us in his image. So if we're constantly thinking, you know, we're weak or we're ugly, or, you know, we're just staying in a state of depression, no, that's not what God is. Like, we're not operating in the way God would want us to operate. That's not why he created us. He created all of us with a purpose, and as long as we stay in that low vibration and in depression, in sickness, in mental, whatever the case is, we stay in that, then we're not allowing ourselves to walk in our true purpose that God has for us. Because he does give us free will. Yes, he has a plan for us, and everything is, you know, already done and said. But at the same time, on this earth, we also have free will. So are we going to continue to choose misery, or are we going to wake up and be like, you know what do I have to do to tap into my true authentic self, which is not fear, it's not anxiety, it's not low self-esteem. That's all of the devil. That's all of bad energy. That's all of negative energy. That is not of God. That is not of you. That's a negative force. That is not who you are. That's just you being affected by the world and the chaos and whatnot. Manifesting and speaking things to existence is very popular on social media these days. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's showing how they manifested their billionaire lifestyle, millionaire lifestyle. You know, we all want, you know, we all would love financial freedom. We all would love to have enough money to do things and pay for things. But what I need you guys to realize before you even tap into trying to manifest and speak things into existence, you have to stop letting that be the only thing that drives you. Because money, yes, it can bring happiness, because you can buy the things that maybe bring you happiness and you're able to do the things to make you happy. But if you don't work on yourself and have a deeper meaning and purpose behind what you're manifesting, then you're gonna still be miserable once you get what you want. So don't let money, and don't let these influencers that have these nice cars and nice things, let that be the only thing that you want. You have to dig down and find a bigger purpose. How do you want to contribute to the world? How do you want to impact the world? How do you want to make a difference? How do you want to use your talents to, you know, bring you income, but that way you can work and not be miserable? That is a key thing before you even continue watching this video. So in my experience of manifesting things and speaking things to existence, I can say that I use the word manifestation, and I don't see anything wrong with that, because it's, you know, it's in a way it's the same as you're saying I am going to do this, I am going to have this, or whatever you're trying to, whatever it is that you want. That is a form of prayer, because when you pray, you're supposed to truly, you know, you're supposed to truly believe what you're asking for, and truly believe that God can work it out regardless of your circumstance. Manifestation is cool, but the root of this video, which I want y'all to understand, the true key is having faith. If you don't have faith and you don't truly believe what it is that you want to accomplish, or what it is that you feel that you were put here for, and you have a gift for, and you have a purpose for, if you don't believe that you can achieve these things that you want to achieve in your life, that's a very key component. It's not going to work. You're not going to attract the things that you want into your life if you always living with a self-doubting mentality. Of course, we have our self-doubting days, but you cannot let that completely consume you. People think, you know, that it's just the overnight trick. It's just, you can just say something and it's just going to appear. And that's not how it works. Sometimes you're frustrated because things aren't happening. Yeah, there's power in your words, but at the same time, you have to put action behind it. So you think that, oh, I could just say that I want this or I want that, but your actions are not aligning with what you want. For an example, if I said, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to put out videos to inspire people, help people, make a difference in the world, but if I'm not recording any videos and I'm spending all my free time being lazy and sleeping and on my phone, maybe I need to change what it is that I want, because obviously I don't want it if I'm not doing it every day, if I'm not working towards it, if I'm not at least spending 10 minutes a day contributing to it, what it is that I want. Your actions have to align with what you want. Your actions have to align with whatever it is that you're trying to attain. So it's, get that out of your head right now. It's not an overnight thing. It's not a magic trick. It's not going to happen in a blink of an eye. It takes a lot of time. It takes dedication, discipline. It takes faith. That's the biggest thing. It takes consistency. You can't do things for a week and expect to change. You have to do it very consistently to see a difference. It just takes time. You know, you can't say one thing one day and then expect it to be here the next day. Most of the time you get whatever it is that you're wanting or working towards, it happens at the least expected time. Then it takes a while for it to click. Like, you'll be standing in your business, or you'll be standing in your career that you've been manifesting, or your house that you've been manifesting, or your car. You'll be sitting in it for a while. You probably will have it for about a few months, and then one day you'll be sitting there and it'll click and be like, dang, I was just talking about 5 months ago that I wanted this. It's going to take time, whether it's days, weeks, months, years. It's going to take time. So to kind of like paint a picture for you guys on how it, you know, manifesting works. Manifestation is not just one thing. It's literally different parts that play a part. Just like a house is standing up and it has bricks under it, or a foundation, it wouldn't stand up without one thing. Same thing with a car. A car will run, but without the engine, a car is just a car. It's just sitting there. It doesn't move, it doesn't start, it doesn't work. It's just sitting there. That's what people don't understand when it comes to manifestation. You have to have faith, and you have to put the work behind it. That is very well just like a car cannot run without an engine. That's the heart of the car. That's what makes it work. That's what makes it move. That's what makes it go. Even not just the engine, you got other parts of a car, like the transmission, the whatever. I don't know much about cars, but I recently just had an incident where my transmission went out. My car was nothing without the transmission. But that's the same thing with manifestation. You can think you're manifesting, but if you don't have the faith behind it, and you're working towards it, but you're not truly believing in yourself, you're not operating at your high vibrations, at your highest frequency, you're not operating in confidence and belief, it's just pointless. And then if you're manifesting and you have the faith behind it, but you're not putting that work in behind, it's pointless. Same thing with the car. You can have the car, it can look nice on the outside, you can want to take trips and want to go here, want to go there, but if that engine not working, or if that transmission not in there, or if that motor not in there, the wheels ain't on there, that car ain't gonna move. Each little part is just as much pivotal as the other part. You can't have one without the other. So the point I'm trying to make, you have to take all of these components, which, like I said, is the two main ones, is having faith and putting work in behind it. And then you also have these other ones like consistency, discipline, sacrificing, dedication, confidence, belief. You have to put all that together, and there is your recipe for manifestation. That's the magic trick. There's no other magic trick. There's not just one thing that works. Some people get lucky, or some things just happen. Like, that's just life. Just like it's unfair, it's also fair. But you can't operate in a mindset of just going every day through life and just, you know, especially if there's things that you want. You feel like you have a purpose. You're earning for, because you know that you're capable of more, that you deserve more. Then you can't operate on a faithless attitude. You cannot operate on an actionless attitude. You can manifest all you want, and, you know, watch these influencing videos all you want, and try that out, but it's not going to work if you within yourself do not have the faith. And God says all you need is a mustard seed. That's all he wants from you. And that shows what a graceful, merciful God that he is, because he could have said, nah, the only way that you want to get things out of life is if you have 100% faith. And all of us, we might have faith, we might be confident in something, but there's always like a doubt in the back of our mind. There's always a fear. There's always something. So the fact that all he needs is a mustard seed. And a mustard seed is literally like a speck, like a small little tiny dot. If it was in my hand, it would be like a small little tiny dot. That's all he's asking for. So if you have that faith, and then you put that work in and that action behind it, I promise you, you will see results. If any of you have been following my story, I went to esthetician school. You know, I have a passion for what I do. I love waxing. I love making a difference in women's lives. You know, they come in and see me and we have talks. We have therapy sessions. It might just be a wax to y'all, but it's more to us. You know, it boosts your confidence. So that was my goal. That was the goal when starting school and finishing out esthetician school. And I also wanted to start my own business, because I knew I didn't want to work for someone forever, right? So I went through school, and that was hard, but, you know, I got through it. But I needed to go take my state board exams to pass my test to get my actual license, right? So I passed my practical, but I could not pass the freaking theory exam, which is the book part where they ask you like 110 questions. I took the test 3 times, y'all, and I failed. And I was so hurt, I was so devastated, because I just kept thinking, why can't I pass this stupid test? If this is what I truly feel is meant for me and my calling and my purpose, why can't I pass this test? I'm like, I'm manifesting, I'm writing in my journal, I can, I will, you know. And I feel like I have the faith, but I wasn't putting that action behind it. I wasn't studying. I might would have studied maybe a day before the test, or a week before, and a few days, but I wasn't really studying. I finally, you know, I said, you know what, I'm gonna take this test again. I had to go back to school for 40 extra hours. I could have just gave up, but I said, you know what, it might be a little harder for me, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put that. And I truly believe it was a test from God, trying to see, do you really want this? You say you want this, you say you're gonna use it because you want to have a platform to help women and make a difference in people's lives and have your own business, but from what I see, you don't want it because you ain't putting the work in. So I said, you know what, I know this is what I want. I have faith and I believe, and I have faith enough at this point, even though this is what I truly want, even if I put the action in behind it and I still fail, even if God shows me that this is not what he wants for me, I still have enough faith to say, okay, if this ain't what you want for me, then I believe that whatever it is out there that's for me is going to come, and it's a bigger purpose than what this is, you know. Even though I knew I was going to pass and stuff, I was still saying, like, even if this doesn't work out, I still am going to trust him and lead me into my purpose and my calling. But I put that work in, I studied my butt off, and I had that faith, and I kept speaking into existence, and I passed that darn test, y'all. So that right there, like, it's not just manifestation, it's literally having the faith behind it and putting in that work, taking action. There's a lot of things in my life that I'm standing in now that I can say that, you know, I manifested, but I don't like to say just I, because without God and without, you know, God working in my favor, some things wouldn't have happened. So without that faith and without that action, there's a lot of things that I have in my life right now I wouldn't have. I've always wanted my own business. Since a kid, I never knew what that looked like, what type of business it was going to be, but here I am today. I have my own business. Is this was meant for me forever? I don't know. I might have a different business in 10 years, in 5 years from now, or I might be doing something else. But right now, today, I'm standing in something that I spoke over my life years ago, that I believed for years, and once I start putting that action in behind it and believing and having faith, here I am. I have my own business. I'm 22 years old. I had to go through some things, you know. I didn't off the rip know what I wanted to do. I went to school for a few years trying to figure it out, and I figured it out. That's the part. It takes time. That may look different for you, but it takes time, it takes faith, and it takes action. I was living in Greenville for a while, if y'all remember that story as well, and I had to move back home because of things that happened in my life. I just kept telling myself I want to move back out, because once you experience that living on your own, of course nobody wants to go back and stay with their parents. Nothing against your parents, but you know, I was okay with taking that step back if that's what I needed for my life. But it had been like over a year, and I'm like, I want my own place. Like, I don't care what it is, you know. Obviously I'm not rich, so I knew it wasn't gonna be no big house or no luxury apartment. I also live in a small town, so we don't have any options, but I was looking in other surrounding areas, like at apartments. Nothing was working out. Literally nothing was working out. I even went and started staying with a friend. Like, I was just kind of like back and forth with figuring it out, but I still didn't have my own place. I spoke that over my life, and I just kept working hard and, you know, just believing that something would come up. You know, I don't have the money, I don't know how it's going to work, but God, you see my efforts, you see me working, you see me trying. I don't know how it's going to look or when it's going to be, but I know you're going to provide a place for me when it's the right time. And boom, something came up, and here I am. I have my own place. I have my own place to lay my head down at night, to come in and live in my own space, just like I said that I wanted. I had to go through some things first, but here I am with faith and action. There's things that I used to pray for, you know, like just my peace of mind, being able to be okay with being single and alone and without certain friends. And it took some time, and there were times where I felt like it was impossible to, you know, like be happy again or to be fulfilled without certain things or people in my life. I wake up some days and I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I remember them nights where I would cry myself to sleep every night. I would wake up, I didn't want to get out of bed because I felt like I didn't have anything to look forward to. And now that I can get up and do things that I love, find new things that I love, find new parts about myself, continue to learn about myself and grow, and have my peace. Yep, days might be boring, or I might still go through things, but overall I have my peace. That's another thing that I manifested. But I had that faith behind it, and I had to take action because I had to let go of certain people. I had to let go of certain thoughts. I had to form new habits into my life instead of sitting in the same misery. Like I said, the list can go on and on and on. YouTube, creating content, photography. That's something that I had been asking God, like, I need another source of income, because sometimes, you know, my business may be slow or I can't fully rely on it. I was like, I would love something else that I could do to rely on. I always like taking pictures, you know, maybe of myself. I didn't realize that I was going to be into photography, but it's something that I truly enjoy. I thoroughly enjoy. I love creating and coming up with something beautiful. So that is another form that lets me express that creativity, and it turns out into something, like I said, that I love, and it's also a second income. And that's something that I wanted, and I said, I don't know how, what it's going to look like, but I'm going to have that second income. There are days where I would sit here, no clients, and I'd be sitting at home like I could literally be doing something else to make money. But I don't know what, I didn't want to backtrack. If I had to, I would go get a job if I had to. And God know that, because I actually applied for a work from home job. I did it for like one day. But that's because the photography stuff started kicking up and people started asking me for photo shoots. And I'm like, you know, instead of filling my time up on my days off with working for another company, I can just use this to do my photography sessions on my days off. Boom, second form of income. So I could go on and on, sit here and just go on and on about the things that I have seen happen in my life. But regardless of what it was or what it looked like, the point I'm trying to make to y'all, without faith behind it and without action behind it, I wouldn't have some of the things that I have right now. And I truly believe that. Yes, God loves you and he wants you to have a beautiful life. He wants you to have your desires, but we're still humans. We're still on earth. We're not in heaven. We're still in a worldly world where life is unfair and things happen. So you have the free will to make a choice on how you want to live your life and what you want to allow and what you want to keep going through. You can manifest, you can be inspired by all of these things on social media, you can have the faith, but without work, it is dead. Faith without work is dead. You know, you can have the faith, and God works in mysterious ways, so he can still make things happen when there are people that go through things that they can't work or they can't, you know, do whatever the case is to get whatever it is that they want. But if they at least try and they're putting some form of action behind what it is that they want and having faith that God will do, he's going to meet you halfway. God, the universe, is going to meet you halfway. But you have to put that foot forward in what you want for your life. Faith without work is dead. And you cannot manifest without having faith and without putting action behind your words. Okay? You can't just say, and you're not doing anything. Like, life doesn't work that way at all. To end out this video, I just want to say thank you for coming here and sitting with me today and listening to me run my mouth as always. I hope that this could have, you know, helped you in your journey of, you know, trying to manifest and trying to just speak things into existence, and there's things that you want for your life and you feel like it's not happening. I hope that you can take something away from this video to help you change your life. Hey, I've been there. Whatever it is that you're going through, it may have looked different for me or for you, but I've been there. I've been alone. I've been scared. I've been fearful. I've felt defeated. I've failed. I've been knocked down by life multiple times. So I know, you know, that feeling sometimes where it just feels hopeless. It feels like nothing's going to work out. I also can say I can wake up and there are multiple things to be grateful for, and multiple things that you have that you didn't have, that you may not have had in the past. And I have things now, and I'm standing in things now that I didn't have before, and it was over time with consistency and with discipline and with sacrificing and with action and faith that now I have it. So because I cracked that code and I seen that what that can do for me versus just living life every day and not, you know, not trying or not doing anything to go towards whatever it is that I want, versus that, I figured that out. So now there's still things that I want. There's still things that ways I can still grow and you know, improve. But now that I know that, I have more faith in my future. I have more hope and more confidence, because I know as long as I move that way, that whatever's meant for me will come. Whatever it is that I want, if I put action behind it and have faith behind it, it will come in its own time, in its own way. May look different than what you thought it was going to be, but it will come. And along the way, you find more and more of your purpose and what it is that you want out of life. Yeah, I love you. I believe in you. You know, you might have days where you don't feel like getting up and doing that routine, or getting up and starting that new habit, or you may fall off a little bit, but that's okay. Today's a new day. Tomorrow's a new day. Get up, keep trying. And after watching this video, I hope that you can at least just simply take away, if you don't take away anything else, have faith behind whatever it is that you want and put some action behind it. Whether it's just 30 minutes of each day, just get up and do something. If you say you want it, you want it bad enough, you got to do something and put some action behind it, because if not, you don't want it bad enough. All right, y'all, that is the end of today's talk, today's video. If you made it this far, please don't forget to, don't take but 1 second, just like the video, comment, give me some feedback, and don't forget to subscribe, join the family, because we're all about growth and healing and just becoming the best versions of ourselves. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Heart of gold and melanin. That same strong kind of love, hold you down kind of love. That watch the way you talk to me, my kind of love. Respect is earned, but with me you're quiet, 'cause your lies